Hello everybody, it is Root Beer, and I am here to speak about episode 2 of Executioner because I already talked about episode 1, might as well try to keep the ball rolling, you know? So we pick up episode 2, where episode 1 left off, with Menno infiltrating the castle of the king to find Akari, the other isekai girl that had been mentioned in the first episode. Contrary to my expectations, Menno didn't immediately stab Akari in the face. Instead, she opts to spin a cover story to help lead Akari out of the castle, which, I'll admit, when I was first watching it, I kinda didn't get it. Like, they were already in an isolated place, so why come up with a cover story and try to escape the castle, which would be more work when you can just kind of dispatch Akari while she's alone? But thinking about it more, it kinda makes sense. Like, for one, there's a possibility they could do something with the body, so killing her then and there would make disposing of it harder, and also, these kids have world-ending superpowers, so charging them from the front isn't exactly a good idea, right? That being said, Menno does decide to jump Akari while they're still inside the castle, so, I don't know, like, do you maybe just want to wait 5 minutes until you get outside? Seems a little silly and just a bit reckless to just dispatch of her while you're still inside. Like, you went through all the trouble to come up with a cover story and get her out in the first place. Why would you kill her when there's still danger nearby? Of course, the assassination doesn't go quite as planned. It turns out that Akari's power is related to time, so her body just reverts itself to the point before she died. So, with Akari being functionally immortal thanks to her time powers, the rest of the episode is kind of spent on our two leads kind of getting to know each other now. Menno is informed by the Archbishop that they have a super special secret execution room that they use for when things don't go according to plan, which is totally normal and not suspicious at all. Like, it makes sense that they would have contingency plans, but why would you keep it a secret, right? And so the tentative plan now is to arrive at the capital within 3 days for the super secret extra execution. The Archbishop also helpfully provides some blunt force exposition where she reads off the great tragedies of their history like a Wikipedia article so that we can reinforce the fact that the Lost Ones are really dangerous and bad and that we need to definitely kill them right away. We also learn, courtesy of Momo, that Menno has never really spent an extended period of time with a target, which brings a lot of room for potential intrigue, as Menno doesn't really see her own work in a positive light. She explicitly calls herself the bad guy in the previous episode, and she likes to reiterate how the Lost Ones are, at the end of the day, ordinary, innocent people. It'll be interesting to see how an extended period of time with Akari will affect Menno. As for Akari herself, so far she's kinda come off as just an airheaded ditz, although clearly there's something more to her. When speaking with Menno, Akari expresses a sense of familiarity and relief, like their meeting had been fated to happen. Which, when you put into perspective with her powers, means there's probably some sort of timey-wimey shenanigan happening there. But that's for future episodes to resolve. For now, like I said, Akari comes across as kind of this carefree airhead, which contrasts nicely with Menno, who's more serious and kind of work-oriented, even in her cover story. You know, she's trying to spin up the story about the danger they're in and how they have to go to the capital to send her back home, and meanwhile, Akari is just really into her breakfast. So that kind of seems to be their dynamic as of right now, is that serious, carefree duo. It was also brought up in the previously mentioned exposition dump that, the Lost Ones using their powers will slowly erode their minds, so there's another little wrinkle in the dynamic there, is that Menno, even though she's trying to kill Akari, is going to have to keep her safe throughout their journey to the capital, which is supposed to be a simple train ride, but we all know there isn't going to be an anime if that actually happens, right? And the episode ends off with this tough-looking warrior princess boarding the same train as the two of them, so that'll probably spice up the ride a little bit. Overall, I think episode 2 still managed to hold my interest, though it is mostly set up, and the story is already starting to kind of turn into more standard fantasy fare now that the twist opening is kind of out of the way, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Seeing the world from Menno's perspective offers a different view of isekai worlds that we would normally get, and her moral ambiguity, I think, adds to potential drama down the line. So I'm looking forward to how future episodes will shake out. And JC Staff is actually trying with this one, so the animation actually looks good. Hopefully we'll get some nice train action in the next episode. But that's gonna be all for me today. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye-bye.